Welcome to the Protector Culture Podcast with Jimmy Graham. Jimmy is a veteran U.S. Navy SEAL, a former protective officer for the CIA Global Response Staff, founder and CEO of the Able Shepherd Program, a husband and father of four, and a personal friend of mine. Now here's Jimmy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Protector Culture Podcast with Jimmy Graham. I'm your host, Jimmy Graham. Today we're going to do another SITREP, so situation report is what that means. After our last one, several podcasts ago, we talked about a SITREP. That just means a situation report, what's going on, what's the situation, particularly with Able Shepherd, with the Protector Culture family that you guys know. Today we're going to talk about a couple different things. The first one is going to be talking about the Colorado BDR. The second one is going to be talking about a new initiative that we're launching called Stand in the Gap. This is a little bit premature, but I don't see any harm in go ahead and putting it out because we're going to be calling on you guys. Literally, this is the first time we've tapped into the whole community saying, hey, we need you. We need you to spread the word. I'll go more into that. But man, I've been wrestling with this for quite a bit. I've seen others step up, others that we will absolutely support, meaning, Mike Glover's one of them, my buddy John Tigan, Tig, as you know him from the 13 Hours and the Benghazi incident. We're just trying to find what is our hill to take on this, meaning we have been earning people's trust for a long time. Those people are now looking to us for what can be done. So I want to back up just a little bit and talk about, I'm here with BK, once again, making the magic happen. We have been working pretty hard. We did a 2-day special event that took several days of building and getting people ready for that community capability that we talk about. Now, special event, I mean the people that train with us at the fourth stage, meaning the Able Shepherd coin carrying, they've got to earn that capability or earn the invite to some of those special events to keep them safe. This is all going to tie together because what we knocked out in a couple days was two simultaneous one sim, one live special event going on Friday, then again on Saturday. They have to work up to that, and they actually got to do the dry runs first. That's kind of where the rubber meets the road when we talk about capability. So taking civilians to that level, I haven't seen much of that, the way that we do it to that capability in that short amount of time. Very efficient. So we just launched that and pulled it off, and there's some video coming, so I'm really excited about that. So no excuses, but last Monday there was not a podcast. We're looking at getting this one out as an update, and then we'll continue because we got some great things coming. So again, Colorado BDR and then Stand in the Gap. Let's start with the CO BDR. The BDR, the Backcountry Discovery Route, is put on by motorcycle guys initially. So I've got a Butler map. I'm going to walk you through it. When we did our ride last year, as many of you know, 4,400 miles. We launched out of here. We went all the way to the ocean. We tracked the ocean, the coast, all the way up to Seattle. We came from Seattle, came back through to through Washington, Glacier National Park, and then back down. We had several riders with us. It was an amazing thing we called the Lineage Ride 2019. We were able to honor our lineage and people that helped to get us where we are right now. Just an amazing emotional thing with a bunch of friends, and we raised thousands of dollars for Able Nation in order to buy medical kits for schools and churches, and then we buy body armor for principals and just give it away. Obviously to that rise and threat and active shooter stuff back when we had schools. So that's cranking up again, getting ready to do some things, when schools start back up for those principals and schools once again, because it's kind of our calling. So during that ride, my brother started telling me about the Backcountry Discovery Routes. So if you go on ridebdr.com and click on your state, there's 10 states right now. For my example, you click on Colorado and it will show you the route that these fellas chose, staying off pavement. So I know there's a lot going on and people are just kind of like, the sky is falling and what's going to happen in November. In November, I haven't found anybody that says no big deal. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be just another month. Our world's going to change in November. Now, I want to talk about green pins dates that we've talked about on the podcast. Green pins mean things that are important to you and your family that you put on the calendar. I think by definition, terrorism is that thing that's going to run terror in your heart where you alter your life and live in fear. I do want to continue on with this ride until there's time, something tells me to not do it. Like I'd be better served with my family here. Again, my community is so strong. I do entrust my family, my friends, all this to my community for me to slip out and do something very cool with my friends and my son. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue on with this. But again, the BDR folks, they try to find the most interesting routes, most scenic routes, and it is challenging through Colorado, in this case, staying off paved roads. So some of these are pretty nasty. We've been looking online and finding these videos where people are dang near sliding off the mountain. It has killed people, and it's a big, big deal. The motorcycle guys started it, and then the Jeep guys followed. So basically what we've got going on is a bunch of folks, led by my brother, Steve. He started this thing and started, passing it around. And then, throughout the past year, people have gotten more and more interested and talking about, like, what is this? This is super cool. What we've got is 5 motorcycle riders and then 2 support vehicles or recovery teams. So it's going to be myself and my 6-year-old son, Christian, in a recovery vehicle. That's going to be the Tundra that is about short wheelbase. It's a short box regular cab. So shorter wheelbase with a little bit of lift on it. Very capable for making these trips. And then BK and his son, Alex, they're going to be in his Raptor running the second crew. So if any of those bikes get in trouble, they radio to us and we come get them sorted out. So 5 bikes, these adventure type motorcycles ready to go through these gnarly trails. We're not going to ask them to wait on us. They're going to take off because the bikes are going to make better time and all that. And then this is a double track roads, if you can call them that. But just from the scenery, it is unbelievable. So it's the true Colorado that most people don't get to see. So we're going to go check it out, run support for these guys. In short, I get to camp with my buddies and my son for 7 nights straight, either in the back of that truck, it's got a shell on it, or tent camping. So it's going to be amazing. I've got his little electric motorcycle that we're going to cinch down in the back of that thing. He's going to be hanging out with all these amazing men that I respect and admire. These are, my buddies, and just see how men interact with other men. They're watching their language. We're going to be doing our thing. We're going to be having a beer. We're going to be honoring each other and just sharing life together. And he needs to see that. Simultaneously, my wife is taking our girls up to Vail for a girls' getaway with some other mothers and daughters, and it's going to be amazing. On the back of their trip, they're going to link up with us probably for lunch or dinner. We'll continue north, and then they'll head home. So what is it? So if you look at this Butler map, these are super cool how advanced it's got. Basically, they planned the trip for you. So if you're looking at doing something like this, there are 10 of them in the United States, with I think it's 5 more that are being built. They're in process right now. Next year they launch Wyoming. There's already talk about doing the Wyoming BDR, and it's going to be amazing, but it's supposed to launch in 2021. So hopefully COVID or whatever doesn't jam that up. They show you the route. They've got your gas stops. They've got your days broken down and everything. So if I flip this Butler map over, it's going to be kind of a mess, and we'll do some more photos to help you with it. This is just section 1. So section 1, 4 corners to Telluride. This is like one of those gnarly roads. There's Black Bear Pass, there's Ophir Pass, there's some other ones. That's Ophir Pass. But some of these are pretty nasty, and I'm super excited. I'm intrigued, I'm excited. It's going to be pretty sweet. I can take out my phone and just go to the camera. I don't really have to do it. I've done this before. Hover over this. What's that called? A QR code, BK?
QR code, yeah.
You do the QR code. As soon as it recognizes it, comes up and shows you a video. It's like a 30-second video, maybe 3-minute video, in this case, to that section. So on that one, it's going to start playing. I'm going to pause it so we don't mess with it. That's a 3-minute, 14-second video on just this pass. Just this section. So 4 corners to Telluride. It goes through that. You can watch it. You can do these routes. There's some optional routes, meaning, if it's wet, you might want to steer clear. Some of this stuff might be closed. Sliding off the mountain or whatever. Like I said, the bikes will make better time, so if the trucks fall short a little bit and they're not going to make the window to be at the next camp spot, we'll jump out on the highway, zip around, and get there as long as they don't have any problems. If they got a problem, they hit us up on text. We're looking at some text systems, and then also, sometimes text work, and then we've got radios as well. So as long as we can get comms with them, if something happens, we'll go over there, recover a rider or a bike. You go to section 2 is Telluride to Lake City. Same thing. Now the cool thing that we did is we assigned each guy, or several of the guys, hey, you find us a place to camp, to sleep, to whatever. I reached out to a friend in Gypsum. Her husband is I think the captain of the Eagle SWAT team. Anyways, great folks. And they're like, hey, I know a personal property that has a field and it's beautiful. Sent me pictures. It's in the mountains and in this valley and all that stuff. And you guys can camp there, for a night. Some other people had family that were in that area, and they said, hey, you can stay in the yard. Like, we've got a pasture out there. You guys can camp there. Well, obviously, leave it better than we found it. We'll grill up and do all that kind of stuff, just night after night after night. So super cool. It goes through and shows you on here, it shows you the elevations that you're going to go through. So it'll show you the passes you're going through. So it looks like one of the tallest ones, California Pass, up around 13,000 feet. That's on day 2. So day 2 is going to be a lot. Ophir Pass, Red Mountain Pass, turn to Corkscrew Pass, California, and then Animas. So there's plenty of passes going through that one. That's probably going to be the slowest day. Actually, it is. It's only 64 miles. It's going to take all day to get 64 miles. Some of these are 144 miles. Still, it's going to be a day trip depending on your speed and all that. So, again, looking forward to that. It's going to be super cool. Check it out on ridebdr.com. Really looking forward to it. And again, sometimes in all of this craziness, I know BK put this on here, wanted me to apologize to Steve because it's not orange. So big KTM. Oh, you can't see it? Threw this Lego motorcycle on there. My brother just bleeds orange. So everything. We got KTMs, BMWs. Who's riding what? Does anybody else have like a?
I think Jason Campbell and Don are on
BMW, KTM.
Pete's BMW.
KTM. So there you go. Three BMWs, 2 KTMs. So those guys are going to have a block. I'm going to be jealous that I'm not on my bike. So next year, stand by. I'll probably end up doing something. Or I might shoot out and do parts of it. But I'm super.
There's one more bike rider.
Oh yeah, and one's on a Razor, an electric Razor. Next year, my 6-year-old son Christian is going to get a gasser, so probably like a Honda, little CBR or something like that. So this year I told him, hey, you're going to practice on this thing in the yard, on walks at the park and all that. So he's fun. He's kicking his leg out like a motocross guy, and he just got all his kit. To see a 6-year-old in body armor, like the chest armor, helmet, goggles, and gloves, it's a sight to behold. And then just getting him ready, with some good boots. Like, so his peg caught him in the leg the other day, and if he didn't have his boots on, man, it would have really jammed him up. So he's learning the safety aspect of it. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not that I planted that seed, but man, he's an amazing little guy. So I'm looking forward to it, and spend time with this guy and his son Alex before he goes off to the military. Just cool stuff. Okay, so anything to add on the BDR there, BK?
I don't have anything to add except maybe we'll drop in a video of the Tundra build out.
Yeah, coming soon. So this guy, BK is not just a camera and audio visual guy. He literally had me drop off here. He had me drop off my truck and install the leveling kit. I've now got a little better than 33s on the Tundra. We are going to do, coming soon, is going to be when the guys get in town, I want to go through the bikes, I want to go through the trucks and talk about some of the gear. Some of this stuff's crazy, like you don't even realize it's out there. Some of the comms gear, some of the satellite gear, the deck that was installed into my truck, again, BK, the lift that was put on, why I went certain tires and all that. His truck is unbelievable, so he can share like some of the special features of that spaceship that he drives around town, and then the bikes. The guys are all outfitting their bikes. I know Everett, once again, didn't even have a bike when he committed, and he's like, I will by the time it launches. So he went and found a KTM, great deal on it. So they're getting all those set up and tuned up and all that. So I'd love to just share those stories. One of the big things I want to cover on that, and I don't know how much, I'll talk to my brother and see how much he wants to go in this, but we've coined that justice for Stevie. So my brother's granddaughter was the victim of a violent abuse that led to her death. So this child abuse, this is going to be an awareness ride for us to get the word out there about that this is a thing. She still has not seen justice. Right in the middle of COVID and all this stuff. So this we want to focus on that. Focus on some of the healing. When he reached out to us and we talked about doing this for the ride, he's just not like this emotional, touchy-feely guy. And man, it was such an amazing thing to be a part of that and say, hey brother, we're here for you. He said, hey, can I put this? Do you mind if we put this somewhere on the ride? I'm like, that just became the theme of the ride. So that's an amazing thing. We're going to have t-shirts and all that made up so he can remember and just know that people care about him, care about his granddaughter, care about the things that have happened as we pursue justice for Stevie, his granddaughter that was named after my brother Steve. So that's a big deal. And it's one of the great things about this community. It still blows him away that these people care enough about him that everybody does. He's such a great guy, but he doesn't have this back home. He found it in Colorado amongst my friends, and he calls them that. Hey, your friends, and I keep saying our friends. Oh, this ride, your ride, this stuff. He's like, oh, I've only got so many friends. I go, you got plenty of friends, and they just live closer to me. It's just a cool thing, and bringing him in close, and I'm loving every second of it. Okay. Going to shift gears and talk in this little bit of breaking news. Again, this is a little bit premature, so I don't want to go too much into the details. But in a nutshell, we've spent many years earning people's trust with what we do, with the platform that was granted to me through the SEAL teams, through the CIA, through all of this stuff, this tactical. I say the guns are the kind of the thing that gets good people together. I don't care what that thing is. It just happens for me to be firearms and tactics. Based on one thing. Take care of one another. That comes from a verse that says love one another, a Bible verse. So basically, that has always been our mission. It will always be our mission. It may change what it looks like from time to time, but that is that's our flag to plant. I don't see anybody doing it at the level we're doing it. Respectfully, if I did, I would be supporting them, and I would be training differently. I've seen many ways to do it, but I've never seen one this effective with the amount of time that we have for the amount of money that we charge. So super efficient. We are launching an initiative called Stand in the Gap. The reason that we're doing it is because we were searching, we were hunting. I'm like, who is leading this? I'm not sure. We see people that are that'll do a function, but are they the person leading an initiative? Because I'm really looking for somebody to get behind. Let me explain that. There's 3 things that I'm going to talk about when we go from place to place to place. One of them is know what you stand for. And we talked about this a little bit before, but it's really been working on me since the last couple podcasts, is what do you stand for? And my wife didn't know. I said, hey, what do you stand for? And she didn't know how to answer it. They're just very broad. And then she goes, finally, hey, Jesus. I go, what about Jesus? And she started saying these stories. I'm like, that story really is that you stand for courage. That one says honor. That one says equality. That one says, so if you can define that and then find other people that stand for the same thing, you're going to make more headway. And you need to know. We shared, I read the lyrics to that song. You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. If you don't know what you stand for, when you finish listening to this podcast, you need to go find some quiet time, go up in the mountains, do whatever, and you need to figure that out. I think if you ask yourself enough honest questions, you're going to be able to land at a pretty good place. Now, the second one is what's your hill to take? My hill to take, and I've used this example. Lila Rose with Live Action is one of my heroes. She fights for unborn babies. It would make sense for me to start an initiative to do that. My probably best use there is to just support her. Is that financially? Is that volunteering? I don't know. I'll do all of that stuff. What do you need? At one point we rented a movie theater for that movie Unplanned. Great turnout, but people needed to see that movie. If we find something spoken in us, it'd be better served to support her. I feel like this is our hill to take right now. My highest and best use is protecting human life and our way of life, meaning that if it gets bad come November, no matter what that looks like, we know that we are very, very good at building communities. We know that we've been honest and we've earned trust. And we know that people are looking for leadership. This came down to Skip saying, hey man, I gotta ask, why aren't you leading this? And I looked at him because it'd been burning a hole in my chest, and I go, I am. As of right now, April Shepard is throwing her hat in the ring to lead people to get organized and talk about what they can do right now. So after these seminars that we're going to be putting on in 5 different locations here in South Denver, you're not going to have any questions about what are your options to enter the ring in this endeavor. Meaning, come November, there are certain things that you need to understand, and you need to know regardless of what happens. So, what do you stand for? What's your hill to take? And then do you care enough to even do anything about it? And you really want to think about that one and don't answer it. Don't answer it with words because we're way past words. Words are cheap. So basically, you're going to answer if you care enough to do something about it by your next actions. So in a month, I'm not going to ask you again. I'm just going to look at what you've done. And if you haven't done anything, then I've got my answer, okay? So you need to find something to support. And if you find somebody further down the road than we are in this endeavor, support them. If it's us, like I said, 9 years in, I see people that are stepping up, peer groups of mine, like I said, a couple that I've mentioned, they're starting right now at 0. We're 9 years ahead. We've learned hard lessons, and I'm not comparing the two, because like I said, I will help them. I met with Tig quickly at his thing, and I said, we've got a lot of the stuff you're looking for, we've already got, and I will share my notes all day long. I will show you about radios, I will show you medical, all this kind of stuff. We have been doing this for quite some time now, and it's been successful, and it's been growing and growing and growing. So now we're going to step out into a bigger, a bigger arena, so to speak. So, what can we do right now? We will be crafting this for the rest of the week. We are putting everything. We've already got the URL. We've got all that stuff set up. We've got 2 weeks, and these are going to launch, and we've got 3 weeks after that to get 5 visits in, 5 seminars in called Stand in the Gap Initiative, where we are going to show you how you can improve your capability as an individual and as a community, your readiness as an individual and as a capability. Again, we've already talked about the root cellar mentality. That's stuff that you need to understand already, because what you can't be is starting at 0. Come November and you've done nothing. That's going to be bad. I don't know exactly what is going to be happening and what exactly that's going to be looking like. Here's the kicker. It can't hurt you at all. Like community, readiness, capability, all of that stuff's just a better way to live. We've just been able to ignore it because we've been so comfortable in our past. So capability, your readiness, and your organization. That word's come up again and again saying we need to get organized. You watch Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all of this garbage going on right now. One thing they are is organized. Now, they're not correct. I don't believe them. So when we say, what do you stand for? And I ask myself personally, I'll make no qualms about this, pro-Jesus, pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, as me personally. There's other things in that, along that same vein, that Stand in the Gap is going to stand for. So when we talk about what you stand for, we will define that for you to see if that's a good fit for you. And if it's a not, you've probably got somewhere else to support. That what is your hill to take? This is ours. Taking care of people, take care of one another has always been our initiative. It's been our mission, and we've succeeded in many, many times over. We can show you, not we're going to go make this, it's already been built. Not we're going to go do a bunch of videos, we already have them in the can. And that vision that we've launched on, this is another mission that is in line with our vision. So that is all coming. We need to get capable. Capability, yourself and your community. Readiness, yourself and your community. Be ready to take care of your family, to feed your family, to do all that stuff. And then organization. We've got to get organized. I've said it this way. If you're not capable, you'll never get the call to come stand by my kids. People say, hey, Jim, call me, Jimmy, and I'll come over. We just had a thing, where was it? Different state. This other group was like this tactical group with their guns. They're rallying. They end up shooting 3 of their own guys. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I will never call you to stand next to my family with firearms if you can't safely handle one. Okay, I'm not calling to get my wife shot in the leg or whatever. You're standing there looking like a cool guy and you shoot my kid in the stomach. That's not going to work. The readiness is that readiness, your family, and we just saw the thing with toilet paper or whatever. That readiness, when the event happens, you're going to be ready or you're not. You're going to be prepared or you're not. And then the organization. If we don't have a mechanism to have your number, you're not going to get called because I don't have your number. I don't have your email. The word went out and you never got it because you weren't looking. Okay, so that's where we're heading. There's more to come on that. That's being developed very quickly, meaning the mechanism, the venue to put it out. There will be a website. There will be that stuff. But everything is already done. I can't even think of the thing that this team can't pull off. And now we're stepping forward and throwing our hat in the ring as a leadership role for others. And we need you to join us. BK, anything on that?
Nothing from the backside of the thing.
Nothing from the backside. All right, guys, that's it. Like I said, wanted to do a quick update. We've got more coming. We're going to continue, like I said, with the BDR. Because it's something that's going to be an amazing family thing, I suggest you do the same. Spend time with your loved ones. Make do on your promises. Keep those green pins flowing and capture your Sundays. I don't work on these days. Find a couple things. We got a lot of summer left. Pencil those in. Spend time with your families. And then back on the Stand in the Gap. More of that is going to be developing as well, and we will be launch out that. This is the first time we're asking this entire community. We need you to spread the word. So we're going to spread those word, get those 5 events scheduled, and then get to it. We're going to step forward in that leadership role, and we need people to step up and actually do something and not forfeit our country over as it's systematically being dismantled before our eyes. So we're going to sign off. We got another one coming. When the guys get in town with my brother, we're going to go through and talk about the BDR, so that's going to be a fun one. Until then, give us a 5-star rating right now. Please write a review, and then get ready for those upcoming tidbits of information to get organized. Follow us on Facebook at Able Shepherd. Just type in Able Shepherd and then find our link. That's a way to stay in there. Watch the website. Always it's this Stand in the Gap and Able Shepherd. If we ever get censored on Facebook, that's craziness is going on right now. You got to have the website because we can always continue on a blog and not get jammed up because they have no control over that. Watch the videos of these podcasts on protectorculture.com. Learn more about the Able Shepherd training program at ableshepherd.com. That's ABLESHEPHERD.com. And until next time, God bless you, BK. God bless you guys. Take care of one another.